Hey guys, and welcome back. Day number 19 is here. We're working on a full body mobility flow workout where we work one side of the body at a time, 5 exercises in a row that flow naturally from one into the other. Then we switch and do the other side. So we've got 3 different circuits. We're gonna be working 30 seconds work and 15 seconds rest. Today you'll need both yoga blocks and straps for our workout. We're starting things off today with our sprinter position, but today back knee is going to be off of the floor for the first time. So start in a push-up, let's bring the right foot beside the right hand, and we're still doing that normal sprinter stretch, but this time keep this back leg straight. If you can't straighten the front leg, use your blocks. And here we go. So forward, stretching that back hip flexor, keep the leg off the floor, and back into that front leg stretch. So we're just going back and forth here. Keep that back knee off the ground. Ideally, we're doing this with the hands on the floor, but give it your best effort here. We're gonna be in this kneeling position the whole time for this first circuit. It's a doozy, amping up the intensity a little bit here. All right, so let's keep in this same position, and now we're gonna take the left hand and place it on the floor for a full world's greatest stretch. So we're gonna reach the right arm up to the sky, and then take that arm under the other arm, trying to bring the shoulder down to the floor to get the T-spine opened up. So let's go ahead, right arm up to the sky, and then take that arm under the other arm, back of the shoulder down to the floor. Doing a little bit of a groin stretch here, as well as the spine twist. Okay, so we can drop the back knee on the floor. We're gonna do a kneeling T-spine twist. So in this half kneeling position, we're gonna take the arms out in front, and the right arm is gonna twist back and turn the body as much as you can without turning the hips. So twist as far back as you can, and try to keep that front knee stable and not turning out. Tough one. Getting the core working and the shoulder working. All right, so we're doing a triangle twist. So let's get the back leg off the floor. This time we're gonna keep the right hand on the floor and open up with the left arm, like so. So if you do have troubles opening up with this one, you can put your hand on your block to give you a little bit more support, but ideally we're doing it with the hand on the floor. We're gonna feel the right side hip flexor working, and then the upper back working to get that twist. Some core and balance included on this one. All right, and we're gonna finish off with a lizard stretch. So drop that back knee, and if you can, try to bring the elbows right down to the floor. If you can't reach the floor, that's what your blocks are for. You can just put your elbows right on there. So let's settle into this stretch and hold. You can allow the knee to fall out to the side a bit to get a little bit more of a groin stretch. All right, so we're gonna switch sides. So let's come back to that push-up position. And now the left leg is gonna be forward for our full sprinter stretch. Going forward and backward, trying to keep that back leg straight and off of the floor. Here we go, and let's get it. Straighten the hamstring and drop the hips again if you do need. You can use your blocks under your hands to help with the range of motion here. Most important thing is getting this front leg as straight as you can. Okay, so we're gonna drop into that world's greatest. So keep the back knee straight and off the floor. Right hand is gonna go on the ground, and we're rotating up to the sky, and then take this arm under the other arm, trying to get the back of the shoulder to the floor. So let's go ahead, open up to the sky, and bring the arm under. Feel on the left side hip, getting a little bit of a stretch in the groin area, and the shoulder is working to open you up. Okay, so we're gonna drop that back knee into our kneeling T-spine twist. So bring the arms out in front. Left arm's gonna turn back and open up as much as you can on each rep. So let's go ahead and get it. Here we go. Open up and twist and back in. Really feeling the left side between the shoulder blades working, and then the obliques to twist you. All right, so from here we've got our triangle. So we're gonna take the back knee off the floor, hands to the floor. If you have troubles reaching, you can put your hand on a block, the left hand. And the right arm is gonna go up to the sky here. So right arm up to the sky. It's okay if the back foot, twists out a bit. That's fine, but try to keep it as straight as you can. All right, and we're gonna drop it right down into a lizard stretch. So back knee is gonna come down to the floor, and then we're trying to bring the elbows down to the floor, and if you can't reach, that's what your blocks are for. So let's go ahead and get settled in here. And here we go. Feel that left groin stretching nicely. You can let the knee fall out to the side. Keep the hips as squared as you can, and breathe. All right, we've got a brief break between circuits. So coming up next, we've got the shoulders. So we'll be ready to get some shoulder rotation. It's a good one. Got lots and lots of rotation in this program. It's one of the quickest ways to make your overall athleticism improve is to work on rotation of the spine, of the hips, of the shoulders. It's the one part of movement we don't do very much. So we're gonna start off with our basic cat and cow. This one's brand new, isn't it? All right, here we go. So rounding and arching, let's get into it. From here, we're gonna take it to a thread the needle. We're gonna do everything with the left arm first. So keep the right arm on the ground. We're gonna reach the left arm up to the sky and open up, and then take the arm under, reach across, and stretch the back of the shoulder. So let's go ahead, reach up and open, and then take the arm under, and stretch the back of the shoulder. All right, next up, we've got a tricky one, quadruped Apley. So we're gonna keep the right hand on the floor. Left arm is gonna reach up and down the back, try to scratch the back. And we're gonna come all the way around and then reach up the back, trying to scratch the back. So keep the arm high, keep the body still, and reach down the back like you're trying to scratch the center, and then come back the other way and reach up the back like you're trying to scratch the center. We're just going back and forth. Keep the arm high off the ground and working the shoulder through its full rotational range of motion here. All right, we're gonna hop our legs up into a pancake stretch. So bring the legs wide. A good starting point is to have the feet as wide as your wingspan. Right arm is gonna stay on the floor. Very similar to thread the needle, except we're just gonna reach the left arm up to the sky. So let's go from here, reach the left arm up, press with the right arm, and try and get flat. And then just the left arm's gonna move, open, and down. Give yourself 2 to 3 seconds to stretch. Try to make sure your toes point directly forward or slightly inward on this one. All right, that's time. Okay, another tricky one. We're gonna lie down on the stomach, bring the arms to a W position. We're gonna look to the right and bring the right knee up to 90. From here, we're gonna keep the left elbow on the floor and lift the left hand up and down for a rotator cuff exercise. Okay, so lift the left arm up, 1, 2, 3, and down. So we're looking to the right knee is bent, 3, and down. Lift that shoulder off the floor. High as you can get. The right knee is holding your torso in place so that your shoulder is doing the work and you can't do it from the torso. All right, that's time. We get to do it all over again on the other side, starting with a cat and cow. So far, so good. So let's go ahead. We're gonna begin cat and cow again, round 2. Okay, so we're gonna go thread the needle now on the right side. So the right arm's gonna reach up and under. So here we go, right arm reaches up, rotate from the spine, and then under, and feel the stretch on the back of the shoulder. Just going back and forth. Okay, so we got that quadruped Apley. We're gonna be on all fours. Arm is gonna go overhead and bring it down the back like you're trying to scratch the back, and all the way around and reach up the back like you're trying to scratch the center of the back. Keep the arm as high as we can. Here we go. Down the back and then around. Keep the arm high and reach up the back. Try to keep the head as neutral to the spine as possible, so we're not overly tucking the chin. All right, we got that pancake rotation. So let's bring the legs up into our pancake. So legs nice and wide. This time the left arm stays on the floor, and we're gonna rotate the right arm up to the sky. So I'll keep the feet facing forward, and here we go. Open up. You can use the bottom arm as leverage to push yourself into that rotation. You feel, it's very normal to feel the inner thigh of the opposite leg be the limiter of this movement. Open up. Feel that bottom arm and top arm both working to rotate the spine. All right, we got the prone external rotation. So we're gonna lie down on this floor, bring the arms to a goalpost position. So we're gonna have the left knee out to the side and look right. And this time we're gonna be lifting the left arm off the floor. 1, 2, 3, and down. Up we go. 1, 2, 3. Keep it going. This leg on this side is preventing the body from rotating and forcing the rotation to come from the shoulder joint and only the shoulder joint. Okay, and that is time. Okay, so we're gonna be on the back for our last movement. Make sure you have your strap handy. We'll be using it for the second exercise of this little circuit. So I'm gonna introduce you guys to flat, neutral spine. So lie down on the back, and we wanna make sure that you can fit your fingers under the spine, but not your palm. And that is what we call a neutral back. So we're gonna try and maintain that neutral back through all of these movements today. So this whole little circuit, try to keep that flat back. That is the trick to this one. It's gonna force the movement to come from the hips. So we're starting with hip circles. So we're gonna bring the knee into the chest. Remember to keep that arch in the back, then out to the side, maintaining that bit of arch, and then around. And we'll change directions each time. Keep that little bit of neutral spine. That's especially important in the next one, when we do the little hamstring stretch, but with a flat back. Well, arched back actually. All right, so let's take the strap and we'll hook it around the foot. And we're just gonna be keeping a flat back and extending and kicking into the strap without letting the lower back flatten. So keep that arch and stretch the hamstring. We're just gonna go in and out. So kick and extend as much as you can without flattening the lower back. So keep that little bit of space and kick and kick. Feeling the hamstrings work, feeling the hip flexors and lower back work to hold that position. Keep that arch and kick the leg as straight as you can without flattening the back to the floor. Make sure you keep that space. All right, so we're gonna put the left foot on the floor now and work the glute muscle before we get into some more hip flexor stuff. So we're gonna hold the right side, right knee into the chest and keep it on the chest. And then we're gonna bridge with the right leg as high as you can. Here we go, without lifting the thigh off of the rib cage. So we wanna keep the thigh into the body, lift as high as you can before you feel the legs separate. And really feel that left glute working. Lift, 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 and keep that right leg into the chest. Push high as you can get without losing that contact. All right, we're gonna do some pendulums. So we're gonna take the left leg, and from here, we're gonna kick to the side as high as you can go, ideally bringing it up to the foot, and then around and out to the other side. Keep both legs as straight as you can. Pendulum the leg, and then out to the side. Try to not roll the hips when you're going out to your left. So keep the right hip on the floor. Let's go. Feel the hip flexor working to pull the leg up at the other end. All right, and then we'll finish with a prone butterfly. So bring the bottoms of the feet together and let the knees fall out for a quick rest before we go to the other side. So here we go. Just let those legs fall out. Bottoms of the feet are together. Okay, so we've got the hip circles, and remember to keep that little bit of an arch under the lower back the whole time, so don't let the lower lumbar spine round into the floor. We're going to change directions on each rep. Right leg's moving, here we go. So into the chest, and keep that little bit of an arch the whole time, and around. So we're teaching you to use the hip flexor to close the angle of the hip without tilting the pelvis backward. So we want to keep the pelvis in one position and have the hip joint itself do the movement. The hip and the pelvis are two separate parts. The pelvis can move and the hip can move independent of it. All right, so let's grab the strap. It's going to go around the foot for those leg extensions for the hamstring. And again, keeping the back nice and arched. So we have that little bit of space under the low back, and we're extending the leg. So keep that back flat, keep that little bit of an arch. Make sure you're not smushing the low back into the floor. Kick into the strap and extend the leg and get the biggest hamstring stretch you can without smushing the back to the floor. It's okay if you're down here, that's totally fine. Just go with what your level is. It will improve as you just practice. It's really wild to me to see my own personal mobility and flexibility where it is now versus when I started. It almost doesn't look like the same person. So we've got the single leg bridge. So let's keep the right foot on the floor. We're gonna hug the left knee into the chest and bridge up nice and high. So here we go. Press into the floor, lift, and keep this thigh against the body. That's gonna posteriorly tilt the pelvis. So we're now tilting the pelvis intentionally the other way so that the lower back muscles stay out of this movement, and we're isolating just the glute. So you'll notice if you let the knee come forward, you can get much higher, but you'll feel your lower back kicking in. So we're just trying to maximize the glute in this one. All right, and we've got our pendulum, so arms out to a T. And we're gonna take the leg across, keeping it straight, and bring as high as you can. And we'll go the other way. Keep the leg straight and as high as we can. And then we finish off with a nice little prone butterfly. So here we go, out to the side, we get it. Keep the leg straight, and then out to the side. Keep the leg straight. So it's okay if you can't make it all the way up to the hand. Just go as far as you can without bending the knee. You're gonna feel the hip work really hard to hold the leg in position. Cross. All right, and our final stretch, supine butterfly. So bring the bottoms of the feet together and let the knees fall out to the side for our final resting position. You can feel the intensity ramp up as this program has progressed on, but you'll notice that you're able to handle the movements just as well as you did the first week. So if you're still in the program here, this is 19 days in, hats off to you. You're doing amazing work. You keep this up, your body's gonna thank you for it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today. We'll see you. We only got a dozen days left, and then we're done. We'll see you tomorrow.